So, peace, power, and ascension, black family. I'm going to try to do this sexual consciousness video again, see how this works out. Because last time I just did it yesterday or the other day, whatever it was, it didn't upload. So, I'm going to try this again. Let's see where my camera at. Okay. So, for those of you that keep up with current events, I don't know if you can see me good. I don't know, it looks like it's too dark. Let me try to switch sides. For those of y'all that keep up with current events, I don't. So I hear about them in passing, but I don't really follow no current events. So not lately, because I've been going through a process of deprogramming, and part of my deprogramming process, and part of anybody's deprogramming process, really will make you forget about things. That's part of deprogram. You're not truly deprogrammed of something until you actually have got to the point of forgetting about it and actually working on erasing it from your subconscious mind. So it's a lot of stuff that I don't deal with, I don't watch. And because I'm still going through my deprogramming process, and I don't want to keep putting on relevant information to the stuff that I'm trying to deprogram myself from. So no, it's not the same as being ignorant and all that type of shit when you deprogram, because now you have the things that you're trying to get rid of, and you have things that you have to keep. Ignorance is you don't have anything in there to keep in, you're still forgetting shit and losing shit that could be relevant to what you need to keep. So, that being said, I'm trying this new shit on YouTube because my first one got deleted and crossed out or whatever. Build this platform. So what I wanted to discuss with, let me back this shit up. What I wanted to discuss about sexual consciousness. I'm going to touch on the same things I touched on in my last video that y'all didn't get to see, so there's no really reason for me to speak on touching on that in my last video. But sexual consciousness, what I want to discuss is, I want to differentiate. I'm going to be differentiating between sexual consciousness and sexual consciousness. On top of me differentiating that, I'm going to be explaining what sexual consciousness is, and how to be like pretty much holistically engaged in sexual oneness, as I would call it. I don't know. I might be trying to find the words now for shit, but how to holistically engage in that, and how to and what is the difference between the different levels of sexual consciousness, pretty much, because it's all the same thing. So you're sexually conscious or you're sexually unconscious, or you are. I mean, most people are sexually conscious. First of all, let me say, being sexually conscious means that you know how to fuck. You know how to stick a dick in a hole. You know where the hole is, how to get in the hole. You know what the click is, what the labia is. You know what the fucking vagina is. You know what the ass is. You know how to do different positions, and you know how to motherfucking do different positions without losing an erection for this man, or without getting turned off. And you know how to pretty much how to make a woman feel stimulated and excited and engaged, and you know what I mean, and at least hold her attention long enough for you to reach an ejaculation, or long enough for her to reach an orgasm. So that being said, sexual consciousness deals with the physical act of the penetration into the climax stage, and then it deals with possibly the coddling aspects and spooning and pillow talk and all that type of shit. That's all sexual consciousness. Where sexual consciousness is understanding the psychology, the behavioral science type of shit, pretty much, behind why a person even becomes interested at first glance the first look, the first time they look at you and see you, or how it built up to them perceiving you as someone that they desired, as something that they object of their desire, and how you first begin to connect with each other, because sexual consciousness deals with engaging in oneness with a person, where you become one with a person, utilizing your alchemical abilities, because keeping in mind that, as we all know, the universe is constantly having sex with itself and constantly masturbating and orgasming and ejaculating, and the masculine and feminine energy are constantly engaged in intercourse with each other throughout the different manifestations of physical things, biochemical resonance or crystals, or whatever you want to call it, us and all things that exist. You could say sex. You could say day is having sex with night. If they're, you want to call it a night, shadow time. Day is having sex with shadow time. Air is having sex with the cilia in your lungs. You know what I mean? The wind is having sex with your skin. You gotta look at like the moisture in your mouth is having sex with your throat. You know what I mean? And your tongue and stuff like that. All these kind of things. Your melanin is having sex with every aspect of your body. Just the fact like how my locks is hanging on off my head and shit, and touching my arm, and laying on my chest and laying on my back. My locks are having sexual intercourse with my physical body, and it is through the act of sexual intercourse that you actually perceive these things. Because there is some type of ebb and flow, or some type of reciprocal interaction going on energetically, while you're able to perceive things. And this is actually how trigonometry works, because it deals with projectiles and predicting the points of impact and stuff like that. So what sexual consciousness involves is, and what I want, and it's not going to be long. But it's things like, say like positions. You got to understand that, say like you dealing with a certain, like for us brothers, you deal with certain women that like certain sexual positions. They like to get fucked from behind. They like to get, smacked. They like to get eaten from behind, or they like to get ate from the front. They like to get ate from the side, like their ass ate, their pussy ate. They like to get kissed. They like the motherfucker for you. They like to come in your mouth, and then like they want to kiss you after they come in your mouth. All this type of stuff deals with creating different elixirs with using your own biochemistry, your own, your fluid, your bodily fluids and stuff like that. You got women that like to be, caressed. They like to be, they like the passionate, slow engagement. Then you got others that like to just be straight up, get to the point, stick it in, fuck the shit, beat the pussy up. Long stroke it, long dick it, all that type shit until we bust. And then you got some that like to, they like to fuck and be passionate and be slow. And then even after the man ejaculates, they still want you to keep your dick inside of them while it's soft, and you just lay there and coddle and kiss and all that stuff, and then get your dick back hard while you're doing all that, and then start stroking again, and then they want you to beat it up. You know what I mean? So all of this type of stuff is something, it's men like that turns us on. That activates us, that stimulates us. There's some men they just want rough sex and want to handle and control and dominate the feminine species, the feminine biochemistry. They don't want to. There is no ebb and flow where they allow her time to dominate, or they allow her energy flow where her energy is dominated in that equation. So what sexual consciousness does is helps is it's about you understanding why. The why. Answering the question why, the Y chromosome, the Y complex. Why do you like that? Why does this stimulate you? Why are you turned on? A lot of y'all are actually really truly turned on by things that you were activated with during being sexually molested or sexually taken advantage of by somebody when you were younger. And you now have grown into being attracted to people that remind you or resemble, that have aspects or attributes of the person who victimized you. So this is not to say like you're wrong now for liking the shit that you like. You are. Everything creates the whole. Every little piece of thing creates the whole. Even setbacks and stepbacks and fallbacks and fall downs, ultimately give you the strength. To carry on and to walk strong. So you got to understand all of that type of stuff. Sexual consciousness will help you understand that, because sexual consciousness deals with you understand that. I mean, just because you like, you know how you got some men that, you know what I mean, well, I see this a lot with women mostly, where they be like, damn, you know what I mean, like he was real respectful and he was real loving and he was real caring and he was real careful about how he interacted with me or what we did or how he engaged with me, until I gave him the pussy. Then when I get in the pussy, niggas start acting real weak. Niggas start acting real crazy, start getting hostile, start getting aggressive, where they be like, yeah, we was good until we got married, then we got married and niggas started beating on me and shit like that. Like, I know women that go through this type of shit. So you have to, sexual consciousness will say, is that motherfucking standard of weight, measure, and balance that allows you to calculate and gauge who a person is and predict what a person is going to be and how they're going to act and how they think and what they're going to do, whether in the future, in the past, present, and future. And sexual consciousness allows you to be able to read a person's energy, to understand what a person truly wants out of life, what a person wants out of you, what a person expects in the future, what a person desires, the goals and the ambitions of a person. You can discover all this type of stuff through sexual intercourse. But you gotta have the conscious minds to really comprehend this type of stuff, instead of just being able to say, oh, like, I mean, oh, I fuck her and I beat that pussy up. So now because I did that, she let me do that. I know that she want a nigga that's to take control and dominate her life. It's not always like that. And niggas, I'm gonna let you know that it's not always like that. I don't give a fuck if you got a bad bitch, ugly bitch, a cougar, MILF, young girl, you a sugar daddy. I don't give a fuck what it is. All women are not the same. Just like all pussies is not the same. All pussies get wet or not. Well, no shit, no the fuck they don't. But you know, I mean, all pussies don't get wet. All dicks don't get hard. And the same thing don't get all pussies wet. And the same thing don't get all dicks hard. Yeah, you might have a dick long enough to reach all and most the average woman's all her trigger spots inside her vagina. But as she become more conscious of herself and become more in tune with sexual conscious, nigga just having a big dick ain't gonna float. You know what I mean, you still gonna have to have some stroke game to you, some type of, I mean, just where you actually, because you know, with every stroke that a man does in his acts of penetration, it's almost like a hieroglyph. It's like you writing on the walls of her vagina. You know what I mean? Her vagina is the hall of mirrors, the halls of a mentee type of vibe, and you are coming in and stepping in with your imagery, with your sword or with your magic wand, and you are creating, you know what I mean, spells and waving your wand and creating different magical combinations inside of her, and it's almost like you're writing hieroglyphs inside her vagina. You know what I mean, inside her pussy. You pretty much, I mean, are scribing inside of her, and what you scribe inside of her acts as a alchemical elixir. How you stroke her, what kind of curves you put on her stroke, what kind of motherfucker, how deep you go with it, how fast it is, how long it takes you to go deep. Because you might start off for a while, just like I told a few other people and showed a few other people. Sometimes you just go a couple inches in. You know what I mean? And you may only go a couple inches in for a few days or for a few months. You may only give her half a dick. And then, I mean, and some women may only be able to take half a dick for, you know what I mean, and got to be built up to being able to take your whole dick inside of them. But while in the meantime, in between you getting to that point where you can rest it with your whole meat up inside of her, you stroke her a certain kind of way and to open her up and make her more receptive to it. You push back, you back up when you see that you're getting too deep, and you know what I mean, you show this. It's like a dance. It's like a dance between flames. But with sexual consciousness, you should already understand that, and hopefully you build her sensitivity up through certain things such as meditating together, speaking together. Even if you sit on the phone, like a lot of people don't really know this, but most people don't have sex without meditation. And if you sit on the phone for hours talking to somebody, hours back to back to back, days on end, nights on end, that's a form of meditation. Y'all are meditating together. The time that y'all spend on the phone talking to each other for hours a day, all the time, I don't give a fuck if y'all sit on here texting each other all fucking day, that is a form of meditation, because you are going to an alternate reality in which it is only you two that exist within that energy complex, or only you two know the reality of y'all energy exchange. Motherfuckers always want to come around when I get out this bitch. But you two have the understanding, and what happens is that you become one. You become one on different levels. You become one through thoughts, and one through energy, through emotions, through feelings, before you actually make physical contact. And this is part of what the steps of sexual engagements that I feel like we all should be engaged in as spiritual people, as soulism practicing. Those y'all that deal with sovereign soulism and the alchemists, the witches, the wizards, the warlocks, anybody into sex magic and stuff like that. You should be to the point where everything is. You begin by meditating with this person first. You got to unify yourselves energetically, even if it's just like I said, sitting naked in a room together, breathing around each other, and absorbing and taking in each other's breath and stuff like that, and sharing the same air as each other, and seeing each other naked, and your hormones are getting mixed into the air, and you breathing in each other's hormones. That's a process that you can go through. You can actually carry that process on for months, and just every night or every time y'all do that, y'all get closer and sit closer, like a foot closer to each other. Y'all may be 20 feet away from each other, but every day y'all do this, one person moves forward. A step, a foot, or a half a foot, or something like that, until eventually. Part itself, until eventually you could be like sitting in each other's laps, and without penetration, just her rubbing her pussy all on your dick, and you just feeling that. That's sexual consciousness. That's making you aware. She's putting her mist on you. You know what I mean? Pretty much, it's almost like she's hovering above you, like that mothership is hovering above your dick type of vibe. And you are like a landing pad, and she's is actually communicating with you on the ground and trying to like really to properly land her mothership upon you, and things of that nature. And it could be just her gliding up, pole dancing, just sliding all up and down the pole without even penetration in. And you got to go through the process of you physically learning her body so thoroughly that you know everything that stimulates her, not just the fucking G spot is 2 inches in and 4 inches up, and you curve your fingers, and all this type shit. And like it's deeper than that. Like you got to be able to say, okay, well, I understand. You can tell me what your spot is, but I'm also gonna make my own spots also. I'll listen to what you got to say about that and what turns you on. I'm definitely going to do all of that shit, but I'm also going to do my own shit, and I'm going to make sure that the master and that the master alchemist, the warrior that I am, finds his own way, creates his own path, and seeks his own quest and his own journey to know thyself, and to know thyself as we become of one mind and we become of one energy and join our energy fields. Then me knowing myself is also me knowing you sexually, holistically, sexually, knowing how to touch you, how to breathe upon you, how to use my saliva on your flesh, and how to use my saliva on your body, and in your body, and in your asshole, or in your pussy, or in your, I can fucking lick your ears, or lick your nose, or lick your motherfucking eyes, or your forehead, or some shit. Fuck around, be able to lick your motherfucking hair and suck on your hair, that fucking around turn you on type shit. You know what I mean? But it's just about, because you got some people, you can tune into that degree where you become so passionate and so entwined that everything turns you on. Motherfucker might just set this my and they start pulling on your motherfucking head with their motherfucking mouth, pulling on your locks, and that shit turns you on while he's stroking you and shit. Like, I done been with women who get that deep into their passion where they like shit turns them on that if we sit up here in our day-to-day life and do this shit, it's like, yo, what the fuck is you doing that for? That's some weirdo shit. But then, but in that moment of passion where you become a one mind and one energy, you understand that every little energy move, every little sense, every all the pressure, everything. The different pressures, the different releasings of pressures on different spots actually create stimulation. And that's what they say. Like, yeah, you got your spots, but those spots are like the drum beats. The things that turn you on is like the beating drum. But where the true sound is in the silence between the beats. That's where the sound is truly produced at, in the silence between the beats. So it's the places that you don't know are your spots, the places that you don't normally get turned on by. And this is what sexual consciousness will allow you to be, because it allows you to become so sensitive to somebody else's energy and so receptive to somebody else's energy that that's just the fact of them exploring you, and you knowing that they are exploring you and trying to test, what you are like, or how you feel, or what you taste like in this spot. Like, motherfucker might just want to lick on your elbow or some shit, and you like that. Just the fact that they're caring for you, you realizing how much they're caring for you, how careful they are, how detailed they are, and attentive they are to you. Maybe licking a fucking mole on the back of your ass. Then that should have just start to stimulate you, and you don't even it's not even really a spot, and it's really your mind is stimulating you because of how much care and passion this person is putting into being attentive to your energy and your being and your species and who you are physically and what you are, what you feel and what you think. And even all of this is still, this is passion. This is really not the depths of sexual consciousness. The depths of sexual consciousness is understanding that just because a woman likes to get a, like, just one likes you to smack her that ass doesn't mean that she like that she wants you to smack her the fuck up in her day-to-day life. And she wants you to handle her like that in her day-to-day life. And I actually had a phone call about this type of shit, where a chick was getting beat on by her husband, but she liked to be dominated sexually, and to be, she liked the man to be very aggressive and dominating, and and she liked to be very submissive, but then she doesn't like to. But then the niggas gets such a hunger and a passion for that aggression and that hostility and being able to touch her sacred body like that, and because she's so beautiful and she's so like just seems so fragile and tender, but then realizing that she can really take a lot. And I found this out. I discovered this through sexual intercourse. Now it's like the nigga's like trying to be a roughneck with her in her day-to-day life, and it's like she doesn't like that. She's more, she's dominating in her day-to-day life. She likes to control herself in her day-to-day life. She likes to do what she wills in her day-to-day life. But because she has so much power in her day-to-day life and she has so much control, she utilizes that moment of sexual intercourse as a time to free herself from that. You know what I mean? And she allows the masculine energy to do something during that moment. You know what I mean? So and to rule during that moment. But that's not how she likes to live her life. She doesn't want you to tell her what to do in her life. She will listen to you and tell you, like, you tell her, like, yo, suck this stick, yo, bend over, yo, eat this, yo, get on your knees, do this, bend over, get on off, turn over, put this leg up. She likes all that shit during sex. But that doesn't mean she like you to fucking talk to her the same goddamn way in her day-to-day life, because she might motherfucking steal you. And y'all, but it's men out here that don't understand that type of shit. They feel like now they got to be aggressive and dominant and the alpha machismo man and all this type of shit in their fucking regular day-to-day life and shit. And it turns the women off. And some women do get turned on by it because it's something different that they not used to in their day-to-day life also. But then they realize that, okay, this is starting to get into an unhealthy territory and an uncomfortable territory, and now it's so hard because I got my emotions tied up into this shit that I don't know how to fucking turn this shit off or stop this shit other than leaving. I don't really want to leave. I want to fix this and correct this behavior, this malfunction that I realize, but this nigga don't realize this shit because he on go mode now with this shit. For itself. So sexual consciousness will allow you the clarity to understand, like, why is this woman allowing me to dominate her sexually? Why is she allowing me to do this? Why does she trust me fucking her from behind? Or why does she like all men that she fucks with, that her favorite position is to be fucked from behind? What is that saying about this woman? Is it that she wants to be is it because she's seeking somebody that she can trust to have her back and to take care of the things that she is not aware of, or she is not conscious of, or she does not see, or is she she's seeking somebody that she can trust with her energy, and to trust that she can be free around and not have to be on guard with, and not have to be so defensive about, and she can trust that you know how that motherfucking stroke, and you know how to interact and engage with her throughout life. You got to ebb and flow with her in her day-to-day activity. Is this what she's seeking, or is this because some other type of underlying situation that she has been going through? Why is it that you got some women that they just only want you to fuck missionary? They be like, nah, you're not fucking me from behind. I'm not giving you that control because you put that dick in too deep, and I can't take that shit. You're not gonna take control of me. I'm gonna control the shit. You're gonna be missionary, or I'm gonna have one leg up laying on my side, and I'm gonna look back at it, but you're not gonna straight up be dominating me and shit. You know what I mean? You got women that's like that out here, but the thing is, there's nothing wrong with that. You know what I mean? It's nothing wrong with that. It's just you have to understand the body language. Because that's ultimately what it is that we speaking with each other is body language. You have to understand what she likes, what she doesn't like. And you also, women, have to do the same thing with these brothers. Y'all have to understand, why do we like certain positions? Why do I like that motherfucker, like you just suck my dick fast and fuck slow? Why do I like that motherfucker mouth just as wet as the pussy is? Why am I like the type of nigga that's not going I like the 69 and shit, or I'm not gonna fuck you if I'm not gonna fuck the pussy if the head is trash. You know what I mean? We got to understand, like, what is this saying about me and the way that I think and process life and my day-to-day activities and shit like that. This is what sexual consciousness is. The Kama Sutra every position that you have is a resonant. It deals with a certain specific attribute, and depending on if you learn it through the Indian system, they'll tell you that it deals with a different being, a different deity. You are activating and channeling a different deity with every position that you do within the Kama Sutra. But at the same time, when you step into a state of oneness, it is not that you are activating. It is not a deity that you are channeling. It is a divine attribute, an attribute or power or ability that you are tapping into, and you are strengthening and you are exercising. So what is that? What is that attribute? What is that divine attribute that y'all have joined yourselves together and become one with to accomplish and to achieve and tap in and tune into? But even so, before you get into that point, the point of you becoming one. Deals with the process, like I said, this meditation process of you figuring each other out, doing the fire breath, breathing in each other's air and sharing air and hormones, and mixing into that, all of that type of shit, stimulating each other with the touches and all that. Then there's an aspect that you get into called the neuro massage. For those of y'all that want to look it up, it's N-U-R-U. It's called the neuro massage. You get into learning about what the neuro massages are. How it's pretty much where you use every part of your body to massage another person's body, every part of another person's body. Use all your body parts: fingers, feet, hands, legs, thighs, nose, ears, hair. For the brothers, y'all use your beards, use your ass, use balls, use the pussy lips, use every part of your body to massage the other person's every part of that person's body. You know, if you do it thoroughly and you do it very well and very good, a person should be close to orgasming or ejaculating before any penetration takes place. But if it doesn't reach that point of that person doing it, then the actual penetration takes place, which most likely is not going to be that long, because the proper neuro massage is very thorough and very passionate, and it gets to the point of exciting and stimulating a person so much that they reach that point of ejaculating or orgasming before penetration takes place. So by the time the penetration takes place, it's like, you know what I mean, a couple of minutes and that shit is over, if it's done right, for men and women, for itself. So you have to get to this point, and this is all sexual consciousness, but for you to do a proper neuro massage, you have to pretty much go through the process of knowing a person, learning a person's body throughout this massage, and getting and connecting with this person on all levels throughout this massage process. And in the process of you doing all of this, you become one energy. You don't even really see yourself as a separate entity. Y'all just become so connected that it's like you got a flow to it. You got a certain rhythm to it where it's like y'all are just one, like moving. I mean, boom, 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 and then all of a sudden you just, when it gets to that point, you know what I mean, of where y'all gotta really just get into this shit. It's like y'all just boom, and you locked in, and boom, it comes out. And you still stay inside and continue to massage even after the orgasm or the ejaculation. You continue it all the way until, you know what I mean, the sensitivity goes away. And this is what you're supposed to get into before you start exploring the Kama Sutra side of the shit. But when you get into the Kama Sutra side of the shit, that's what you got to understand, the psychology behind this. What does this person need in their day-to-day life? What are they asking me throughout these sexual positions? What do they desire in their day-to-day life? What does he want? What does she want? We enjoy poly relationships. What does that say? That teamwork made the dream work. We on a team effort kind of vibe or mentality or frequency with some shit. So it's like you got to find out what is it that we really are trying to accomplish, and what resonates with us all. And I'm sure it's something else I can get into with it right now, dealing with sexual consciousness. And like I said, sexual consciousness. And also another point I want to make, for anybody that may be a little bit pervertish or some shit that's listening and watching my shit. Yes, you can utilize these things on young people, because children have the same hormones when they start to reach puberty. They do have the same hormones, men, boys and girls, but you do not utilize this shit. That's where the consciousness also comes in. Realize that this being is not even ready and mature enough in their own knowing of themselves for them to be prepared for this type of shit. So that means, and if you can't go this deep into things with people, and that means they're still in a childish mindset. They're still in a childish place. I don't care if they're fucking 18, 19, or 20, or 30. If they're not prepared to explore themselves this thoroughly, they are still sexually childish, and they're still immature, and you shouldn't be fucking that person. And that's all I really want to say. And not saying that you can't just have quickies and shit like that, because nigga enjoy quickies like a motherfucker, but I'm just saying, you know what I mean? That's all. Keep your first eye open. And oh yeah, anybody got any questions or anything that you want me to talk about in the future, or anything that you want me to talk about right now, or if you want me to do a part 2 to this and go deeper in on a specific point, let me know. Let me know. I get into all of that stuff. I don't have no problem with it. And keep your first eye open. Blackout.